Things first, when you hit up play, it's going to come up with an option to join other friend servers. I'm obviously just going to go ahead and create a new one for you guys to show today. And you can change the settings as well, so friends of friends can also join my own server right now. So welcome to the Fortnite Creative Lobby. This is where you start off every individual time you load up Fortnite Creative. We put here in this lobby. So as you can see from a glance, we've got a bunch of rocks around us with some rifts in them. Of course, the one over there, the gold rift, that's going to be my server. And I believe the plan for these featured ones at the front are for maps that are trendy, have a certain game mode. Just, you know, think Minecraft, but Fortnite. Awesome maps. But currently right now, there is nothing featured in either of those, so we're going to go over my island. So as you approach your own rift, you're greeted with an interact option. Essentially, you can choose one of 4 islands. They're like 4 different saves, I guess you can kind of say, that you can have tied to your account at any time. Today, we're going to be playing on Island 2. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Fortnite Creative server. First things first, though, make sure to use code LOCKY in store. First thing I will, action facts. As you can see, they got some nice things below to them as well. But anyway, welcome to the rest of the world. We've got a lot to go through, and at first, you're probably hit with a bunch of things off the bat. You can see on the left there, double tap to fly. That's right, we've got fly mode in Fortnite Creative. Obviously, makes sense. You're trying to build a map. You need to fly. It's great. Next thing up that you probably noticed, we've got a phone in our hotbar. It's like that one with the emote, but like it actually now does something. So if I go ahead and select current tiles, you see that it has a grid option. And if I was to say right click, I can pick up that option and move it around to say, or I don't know, here. Like that. I can also copy it with a left mouse button so that it doesn't get rid of the original piece. And that's pretty much what the phone will do. You can also press X while holding it out and you can delete whatever you put down. So this thing here is just a couple of little things I've written down. So the next thing up that you probably notice down the bottom is a memory used bar. Essentially, if that gets to the end, you won't be able to place blocks and stuff like that. This is just to make sure. To go to that saying, if you guys go on to enjoy today's video and already enjoyed it, are excited for Fortnite Creative, make sure to chuck this a like rating down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a lot more Fortnite Creative content on this channel for sure. And so next up, if we open up our inventory, we're greeted with this creative menu. And we have a lot of things called prefabs, and they're essentially pre-built structures from either the game or from Fortnite Creative itself that you can use as kind of like a tool to pick from and use for your current build. So for example, we've got a couple of obstacle courses here that you can just use for fun. And then from that, we've got parts of towns that you can use as buildings. So as you can see, we've got things from Lucky Landing here, things from Tilted Towers here. Can I get a F in the chat for my factories out there, boys? That's right, there's factories in here. We got the club from yonder. We got, you know, the modern houses, all the stuff from Pleasant Park, stuff like that, Retail Row, the shops. And as we scroll down the list, we move over to some prop items. So things from the game that you can destroy for mats and stuff like that. Trees, for example, signs, cars, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got this here, which is actually new to Creative. It's a cube gallery, and essentially it's just a bunch of blocks that have different colors, and some have effects. Sort of my code lock design just before. And yeah, just to give you a quick scroll through of every option available, what you can take. And I'm going to show you just exactly how these things work in just a second. Alright, so let's say we want to get some of these cubes out. We want to get some of these trees out. We equip both of them, and it adds it to our inventory. This is what's going out. So after it puts it into your inventory, you can select it with your hand, you throw it, and it gives you a little preview of what you're going to throw, or at least the dimensions of what it's going to throw. And then that's what we've got. Cube selecting thing. Now, at the current time, we've got 2 animated cubes, a light cube, 3 light cubes actually, some base colors to work with, and some Now, these cubes are interesting because they are technically prop. They don't apply to the normal kind of rules that other builds apply to. Like, say, for stairs, for example, it's very 1 by 1. It has to fit in that 1 by 1. Props are different. They're like trees, all that kind of stuff. You can pick them up and just chuck it down there in the middle. It's not restricted to that 1 by 1 kind of format. And you can do a whole lot with this phone and some props, I'll tell you that much. And you can have a look to the left for all the controls you can do. F to push it away from you. C to pull it in closer. You can actually rotate the piece. You can rotate it all 3 ways. So clockwise, counterclockwise, either it's X, Y, Z values, of course, like that. And every time you hit tab, it shows you what you've done. You can also reset the rotation by holding tab and go back to normal. And with the combination of the rotation tool, you can do some really cool kind of stuff. You can spam it, you can put it inside of each other, make some cool new objects that way. It's interesting. You can also make it not apply to gravity as well. Press G, it'll just definitely not done just there. You can also snap it to a grid. So say if you wanted to make sure that you had these perfectly in place next to each other, you can grid snap it and it will show you the grid number of those. So right now it's doing 16, 8, 4, 2. So it's kind of like a spacing method that you can do, just so you can keep the blocks nice and flush with each other so you don't have any gaps or anything. Man, that is a really bright So let's show you how this rotation can be used with props that you already know in games. Let's turn grid snap off, and let's just rotate it a bunch. Just drop one off there. You can just make 1,000, about 8 hours each day making maps for about 4 days. Probably some of the most fun I've had playing Fortnite this year. So Fortnite Creative, of course, we've got a few more traps than the regular game mode. We've got a lot of things you would have seen in the playground feature as well. The first thing first is a respawn pad. You would have seen that in playground already. Essentially, if you walk over it, it becomes a spawn pad and you can customize it with options. Pretty much when you go to start a game mode, you have some team options here and you can do a bunch of stuff with it. It's pretty cool. And so if I'm to respawn right now, I will always respawn right here at my respawn pad. So next up, we got some spawning pads for vehicles. So this is a shopping cart spawn pad, and this is a quad crasher spawn card. Whenever you destroy them, it will respawn a new card of that type. Also, there's damage numbers now for cards apparently, and there we go. You get a new card every time it disappears. So next up, we have some damage traps. These are new kind of traps that whenever you hit them, they'll bounce you back a little bit and take 5 HP away from you. Something to penalize the player for running a certain way or trying to go a certain way. Next up, we have these ice block traps, and essentially they're kind of like the ice traps, but you only have it for a couple seconds. So you slide through it, and you slide for a couple seconds like that. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, you slide for a little bit, and you can really tell when you use it in combination with these new speed pads. And these are a little speed boost things, very self-explanatory. You can also customize them for the speed, so you can give a low, medium, or a high speed. And if I was to do it on this high speed example, you can see how I just slid all the way up there, kind of, customize that whole thing. But it doesn't give you permanently high speed for 30 seconds or whatever it gives you. So it's like a nice little way of using the mechanic that way to have it right. Next up, we got this little scoreboard thing. Essentially, if you jump on the pad, you can add a point. For one thing, I actually really like this for things like dodgeball, trap ball, stuff like that. You can go on and be like, yes, I got my goal. Okay, cool. Chuck it on. If memory serves me correct, you can that one. And it's a score. Probably don't want to get a big score on that accidentally. Pretty cool indeed. Next up, we've got this kind of timer, so you can customize it, of course, and it'll pretty much display a timer at the sound when the timer is complete. And you go all the way from 20 minutes to 1 minute. So I'll put it on for a minute, hit that, it's now going to start the timer, and how loud it is, so we'll keep that running in the back while I explain more features. So moving back into our inventory, we've got the weapons sheet, and it's pretty much every weapon in the game. It doesn't have everything there, like it doesn't have C4 and a few vaulted items. It doesn't have revolvers. Not to be mistaken with these revolvers, the ones that are actually half decent at the video game. Also, don't worry, there is no drum gun here either. Oh! And that's the noise it makes. So essentially you can go ahead and equip it, or you can add to a chest, which I'll show you in just a second. It'll add it to your inventory, and yeah, you can spawn ammo as well on the consumable page. All types of ammo, all types of grenades, all that cool stuff you see on screen. Again, no C4. And then last but not least, we got the chest feature. So like I showed you before, if I go to weapon or consumable, I go add to chest, I hit the chest right here, and I go create chest. It'll put one in game. You can, of course, pick it up, move it around, all that cool stuff, place it wherever you want. You can make it float if you want. All that stuff. Search the chest, and guess what comes out? I'd personally love to see from the devs is maybe a way to maybe get that to be a random thing every time, because I think that could inspire some game modes. Lucky block. Anyway, moving on. We've also got the option to create a llama as well, so essentially you should spawn a llama, you can open it up, and it's the same thing. It's a chest, but it's a llama, and I think as of right now, currently, oh, you actually can pick up a llama now. You couldn't do that yesterday. And of course, it goes without saying this is in progress. This may not be the final version. I actually sees it tomorrow, because this will be like a week old. So there we go. Look how many friends I have. I have a lot of friends. If you make your way to this part down, it's essentially just a route to get back to the hub. Also importantly, you've got your escape menu, which has your island settings. So these are things that you can set. Game modes, teams, time limits, spawn locations, all that stuff. So you can have people spawn in the sky, their team pads, their spawn pads, all that stuff. Free-for-all, deathmatch, free play, game mode options for now, teams, and the time limit that you can go for, up to 20 maximum. Their time limit and 1 minute start. So I've just hit start the minigame, and it's going to reset everyone and put them somewhere in the map, wherever they're like in the sky. I just made this like to show off my code one more time. Don't forget that's code locked in. And so because the game has started, it's cleared my access to play creative, I guess you say, and I have to wait until the 20 seconds is up. This is when you like, do your game mode, and then when the time's up, you'll reset it, save your world, reset any damage done to your world. Like for instance, if I was to go ahead and completely destroy these llamas here, these innocent llamas who definitely didn't deserve that, they'll come back in 4 seconds. There we go, because I think it's deathmatches, eliminations, deaths, all that kind of stuff. That's my name on the top left. It's like a death builder count. Then it fully resets the island and puts it back to the state before the minigame was started. So for example, a game mode I made the other day was one where we shot the start and we had to try and outrun the platforms that were disappearing. And this allowed us to, you know, reset, make some cool mechanics, and have like a really cool race. And that's just an example of how you can really use creative mode to make some game modes you really couldn't before. I mean, you couldn't Playground, but you'd have to spend so many hours building it because you can only play it once, and then you're done. And then also in your island settings, you've got things like health settings, stuff you've seen in Playground mode before, options for the teams and such. So one of the new ones is pickaxe building damage. I can turn it on for instant, and essentially what will happen is anything I touch will disappear, if it can be touched. So these llamas, goodbye. You can even put down but not out options, stuff like that. Then island tools as well, so you can give permissions for players to actually edit. You can say, hey, only I can edit it, or, you know, people that join, they can edit it. So you've got this option here to reset your island completely, and then just obviously by like the base island there. Which say goodbye to our code blocker because he's no longer going to be here anymore. I'm going to show you what that looks like just now. Reset island. By code blocky, it's going to like the whole thing. You can see what it looks like when you first load into the world. And this is it. This is what it looks like. Barren island with a few trees and rocks. For some reason, the shackle. So last but not least, before we end this off right here, I want to show you one of the obstacle courses they have. You would have seen them if you played Playground mode, but the resources they use